Boomchanka, how's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Forgot the name of the channel for a second then. Because I'm in bed ill. I've got freaking influenza B or whatever that my brother's brought over with him from the States. So I've got some like Yank flu just in time for Christmas. Nice one, brother. But anyway, I just wanted to jump on here because there's a couple of talking points to discuss to do with Manchester United at the moment. What's going on today in the sporting world? United, Haaland, Erling Haaland, Paul Pogba, of course. Jack Chidlow, first commenter on the stream. How you doing, Jack? Yeah, so there's a couple of talking points to discuss with Manchester United. The first one that I wanted to discuss is the statement that Solskjaer has made, which is in regards to Paul Pogba, that Pogba is a very important player for us and will be staying with Manchester United beyond January. There's a lot of speculation. I've been talking about it and perhaps hoping for it myself that Paul Pogba may be leaving in January, just to allow us to get some fresh faces in with the large amount of money that it would actually generate. Because Juventus, Real Madrid, they've got to be paying in excess of £100 million for somebody like Paul Pogba with a name and a quality like he has. Problem is, it's just I don't know if it's that realistic this January. We'll see. Solskjaer said that he doesn't think he doesn't want Pogba to go anywhere. Pogba's not going anywhere in January. He's one of the best players in the world. He wants to keep hold of him. But that doesn't really mean anything, does it? I mean, managers have been saying stuff like that for donkey's years. And then when it comes to it, obviously, if there's a good enough offer, if there's offers on the table, then you've got to realistically look at that. So I don't think it really means anything that Solskjaer said Pogba's not going anywhere. I think it's just really, showing the importance of Paul Pogba to Manchester United, really, for when he is back and he is fit and he is up for it. Obviously, Ollie wants him to be motivated. Ollie wants him to be up for it. Ollie wants him to be confident. So he's just sort of building Pogba up, I think, there. But in my opinion, Pogba's not long for Manchester United. If he doesn't leave in January, I think it probably will be a summer departure for Paul Pogba, but obviously it remains to be seen. For now, Paul Pogba is a very important player to us. Like, I want to keep hold of Paul Pogba at the club if we're not going to sign any sort of creative quality players in January, because at the moment, we've been playing with Fred and McTominay. I'm not sure if that's a long-term pairing, but Fred and McTominay seems just as effective, if not more effective, as Pogba and McTominay. So if we are going to see Pogba back in the side, I'd like to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stick him in that sort of number 10 in behind the striker. That's where we could do with somebody at the moment, because we are struggling for players in that particular position. So it makes sense if Pogba's going to come back into the side that he goes there, and then maybe he could actually be that quality player that we all have seen previously in the past. Like Solskjaer was talking about when Pogba first came in, we saw what a fantastic player he was when Solskjaer first came in, and Pogba was suddenly playing like an absolute genius after Mourinho's gone. Pretty much a big FU to Jose, that one. And it was probably the best spell of football we've seen from Paul Pogba in a Manchester United shirt when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer first came into the side in an interim capacity. But the problem is, he's just far too inconsistent. The problem is he doesn't like to defend, so why even put him in that sort of central midfield role? You might as well have him just in front, advanced, creating, doing what he likes to do, giving him a bit of opportunity to create an attack and have shots and all that good stuff, which he's supposed to be good at. You're talking about somebody who's a World Cup winner here. You're talking about somebody who has been great in the past for very big teams. But let's be honest now. Serie A is pretty gastastic. It's not what it once was. And Manchester, well, it's maybe a little bit harsh, but I just think the Premier League's more competitive, it's more physical, it's a quicker tempo league, it's more difficult for a player like Paul Pogba, I think, whereas over in Juventus, it's a bit easier. That's probably why he did so great over there. In terms of the World Cup, he probably gets a bit too much credit for what he did for France in the World Cup anyway. I thought it was a couple of passenger games from him during that build up to them winning the tournament, but that's just my opinion anyway. I don't want to hate on Paul Pogba too much. I actually like the guy. I actually think he's a nice guy. I actually think he's entertaining. He's the sort of lad that if you knew him, you'd enjoy hanging out with him. He seems like a positive guy. So this isn't a fact at all about any sort of thing against him as an individual. It's just I think what he's done for United over the years is not up to the standard of a United player. Certainly not up to the standard of a 90 million pound player. Not up to the standard there. I just want to say thanks to everybody who's tuning in today. Shout out to you all. There's not that many of you, but it is a random stream, so and I am just looking like an absolute mess up. So I'm not surprised if a few people have clicked on, taken a look at this grill, and gone, nah, that's not for me. and then clicked off it immediately. But for those of you that are here, thank you very much for stopping by. Gungshi says, "Pig, how you doing, my friend?" JP says, "It's the Pig Father, Pig Corleone. Thank you very, very much." The first of her name comments, "Get well soon, Piggy." Thank you very, very much. The first of her name, much appreciated. Josh comments, "Pogba out." So you're not a fan of Pogba there, Josh. I mean, there's plenty of United fans which don't really see the benefit of Paul Pogba. There's a lot of United fans, like Gungshi, actually, one of the legends of the channel that always tunes in, that you know, that he is a fantastic player, and I can see that. If you look at the abilities he possesses, he's absolutely unreal. Is he? He is quality because he can do it all, but you just don't see it that often enough from me. That's the big issue. Let me get into a couple more of your comments about Pogba, and then I'm just going to get onto the next topic, which is the Erling Haaland business. So Matt Rush comments, "Pogba is better than anything we've got, but he clearly wants to leave." See, this is another thing. Like for Paul Pogba, staying at United right now, where 50% of the fans love you, 50% of the fans loathe you, you're not challenging for major honours, you're not playing in Champions League tournaments, you're not winning any individual accolades because the team you're in is just not really doing the right stuff at the moment. We're in a transitional period, it's a rebuilding job. And I just think it's somewhat of a character flaw with Paul Pogba. Like I say, he's a nice guy, but he's got a bit of a character flaw in those times. I don't think he's that much of a determined fighter. I've not seen it. I've seen more heart and desire and determination from McTominay this season than I have from Paul in his whole few years combined at the club. And I'm not saying he's not trying out there, but I just don't think he bleeds for Manchester United. I think what United need to do, and what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to do, is assemble a squad of players, assemble a squad of young, hungry players, or quality players that are hungry and that do want to bleed for United, and that do want to really, really fight for the club. You can see some of the players that Ollie has signed, the way that they fight, the way that they battle, and they seem to bleed for the club. People like McTominay as well. I think these are the sorts of players that are going to do the business for United long term. And Paul Pogba, unfortunately, it's just a limited amount of time that he has at this football club. And of course, he is a huge asset. And really, that money at this moment in time, with the situation we've got, could actually be better put to better use. Neil Duffin, how you doing? Says, "Big man, hooray! I've seen you before Christmas. Happy Christmas, mate." Gungshi, hello, mate. Thank you so much, Neil Duffin. Merry Christmas to everybody that's involved, by the way. I've got influenza for Christmas, thanks to my freaking brother coming from America. Nice one. So, and also apologies for my hair, the way I look in general. I'm feeling like an absolute mess up right now. So I'm a mess up, but I'm here. Just want to say also, there's no Pig in the Hen show today. Unfortunately, we weren't going to rearrange it for today. It's not actually down to me. I was up for it, but of course, you know what Henry Hotspur's like. He's a bottle merchant. So no, fair play to him. He's going to Macau. He's going to Macau tomorrow, and he just let me know earlier that sorry, but he doesn't have the time because he's got to pack and get ready for Macau and all this stuff. So we will be doing one hopefully before Christmas though, but I'm not going to tell you a date this time because I don't want to let down any of the bacon and egg brigade like I have done today or the previous Pig of the Head show. But I've tried. We will do one very, very soon, so keep a lookout for that. Mark S comments, "Hatless pig." Yeah, nobody wants to see it, to be fair, mate. I know I definitely need to get my bonds chopped at some point very, very soon. DJC, thank you very much. He says, "Happy Christmas, pig, and prosperous New Year." Yeah, shout out. Alex Rod comments, "That beard is growing in." Yeah, I need to chop it off, Alex. I don't really suit beards. I just get a weird sort of Amish looking neck beard. And it's not really a good look for me. But but I definitely do need to chop it. But thank you so much for the super chat there, my friend. Much appreciated. It says, "Getting the beard for winter." I don't blame you, my friend. I mean, it is rugged. It is popular. But there we go. Right, okay, so let's just so we talked about Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, Manchester United. Will he still be here in January? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sort of giving him his backing. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that he thinks that he will stay here. He wants him to stay here. He's not going anywhere. He thinks he's got a big pivotal role to play in this United side, which if he's fit, if he's up for it, if he's bang up for it, then do you know what? He absolutely does have a big role to play in it because he's, let's be honest now, if you get a Paul Pogba that's performing, he's quality. I mean, it's a shame that he did get this injury and he's not played since September because he was actually doing sort of okay. Like the first game of the season was the Pogba show against Chelsea. We've ripped them open, beaten them 4-0. A lot of that is down to Paul Pogba's performance in that game. So I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it's a consistency thing. It's also a character thing. It's a determination thing. It's all well and good having all the capabilities and all the abilities in the world, but you've got to be able to transfer that out onto the pitch on a consistent basis. That's what we don't get from the Pogba Nater, unfortunately. Gungshi with an insane super chat. Thank you very, very much there, Gungus. Much appreciated. Top man, he's come in and said Macau is a gambler's paradise. Hope the hen doesn't lose all his money. Merry Christmas, pig. Merry Christmas to you too, Gungshi. Thank you so much, mate, for that. And yeah, it is a gambler's paradise. It's like the Vegas of Asia, or whatever I've heard it described as before. So I imagine Henry Hotspur is going to be going over there shooting craps, losing at blackjack. Do you know what? Henry's not actually not a bad gambler. He used to work in a casino. He knows how all the games work and stuff. I've seen Henry win big before, so it's not something I get too involved in. But Henry loves a flutter. So that's probably what's going on there, Gungshi. Let's be real. Let's hope he doesn't lose all of his money. Equally, let's hope he doesn't win too much money, because we don't want to forget about the bacon and the pig and the bacon and egg brigade, do we? But thank you there, Gungshi. Really top man. Alex Rudd comments, you just need some flannel now. Yeah, flannel. I'm guessing that's like the flannel design shirt you're on about there, my friend. And one of those, yeah, I could just wear my usual hat, maybe pick up a chainsaw, go for the old lumberjack look. I hear what you're saying there, Alex Rudd, top man. Yeah, Navaneeth Ravi, thank you very much for your comment. He says, either way, it will be good if Pogba leaves. We'll get a good deal or a swap. Yeah, fair play. That's quite an interesting idea, actually. Like, there's certainly a couple of players over at Madrid that Manchester United would be desperate to take. I mean, in terms of like Gareth Bale, for instance, I've wanted Gareth Bale at Manchester United since he was at Tottenham. Now I know he's obviously gone on. He's won multiple things. At the moment, it's like Wales, golf, then Madrid for him. He's made it sort of known that he's not the happiest bunny at Real Madrid. I think the Real Madrid fans have made it known that they're not that enamoured with Gareth Bale either, for whatever reason. Personally, I think it's a disrespectful thing. But I was saying, like, swap deal wise, in all honesty, I don't really want to see us go and get those big name, big money players right now who could come in. Gareth Bale could come in and could be absolutely insane for us. You're talking about a quality player here, but he could also get injured. He has been injury prone. He could also put Manchester United even below that. Could be Wales, golf, fishing, then Man United. You don't know if he's got that sort of an attitude over at Real Madrid. Do you really want that sort of attitude over at Man United? My initial answer would probably be no. So I know you didn't insinuate that it was Gareth Bale that would be coming in a swap deal, but you make up a good point that maybe some sort of a swap deal could take place. There are players that we'd be definitely interested in from the likes of Juventus and Real Madrid, so it is possible. AK comments, I don't believe it. What Ollie, Ed Woodward, and Glazers are saying, there's no rebuild, just talk. I mean, in terms of rebuild, we do have to plan for the future a little bit here. I think you are seeing the trends that we are trying to rebuild. We are trying to do it a little bit differently and a bit proper compared to how we were doing it. Jose came in, mercenary attitude, quick fix attitude, signing Sanchez, 500,000 a week, Lukaku, 300k a week. And it didn't work. That's the quick fix mentality. But if for a rebuild, you've got to do it slowly, you've got to do it properly, you've got to plan for the future. If you look at the set of players Ollie's got, and also importantly the players that he brought in, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and Daniel James, these are players that not necessarily right for right now. I mean, they are for right now because they're good enough for right now, and they've proven to be. But they're actually just long-term thinking signings. They're signings that are going to have a real improvement on United over the next 10 years. And certainly in a couple of years' time, you will start to really see the fruits of those signings. And also the fact that he has promoted certain players from the youth setup. Brandon Williams has obviously come into it this season, looks a great prospect for the future. Already, I'd rather see him on the team sheet ahead of Ashley Young or ahead of Luke Shaw even, because I just think he's got so much potential and already looks quality, and is also like one of those players, like I was talking about earlier on in the video, that does have character and that does have determination and that will bleed red for Manchester United. What other colour do you bleed? Well, unless you're a bloody predator, fluorescent yellow, it's always red. But you know what I mean. Like, he will bleed the red of Manchester United for us. That's what it seems like to me. Luke Shaw, bit of a lazy bastard. Sorry, I know a lot of people rate Luke Shaw. I think he's a good player. I think maybe what a good idea would be to do with Luke Shaw is allow Brandon Williams to be our main left back, and then with Luke Shaw to sort of make him a winger, because he's actually really good going forward. Defensively is where he struggles in my opinion, but going forward, Luke Shaw's got the ability. He can beat a man. He can overlap. He can, get balls into the box. So maybe that's not a bad shout. Crazy Gamer 351 comments. We need more midfielders, and the defense needs tightening. See, this is the thing. We don't want to see Paul Pogba leaving Manchester United in January if there is no suitable replacement brought in, or one or two players brought in the midfield. Because if you are losing a player of Pogba's caliber, and also Pogba's presence in the dressing room, something's got to be done about that. Because you do need somebody to create. United have really struggled with creativity. We've seen when we come up against teams with the low block time and time again this season, we can't break them down. We don't have that unlocker of defences like we should have, which is why we need a player like Bruno Fernandes or Christian Eriksen or James Maddison. Somebody like that to be that unlocker of defences like for us. We've already got the stopper. We've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We're starting to get the the puzzle pieces put together, but we're definitely lacking a creative midfielder who can unlock defenses, and that's why you see us struggle against the lesser teams sometimes when we come up against them and they've just got numbers, sheer numbers behind the ball, because we don't really have the caliber in midfield to actually unlock them properly. So that's definitely a position we need to strengthen is the midfield. When we come up against the top teams that are coming at us and have more possession and we're able to counter and find space that way, we do well because we've got these players that are tailor made for that system with the pace up top there, James Rashford, Martial, that sort of thing. So I think that's why we do better against the best teams and worse against the worst teams. Very annoying, but I just don't think we've got the right personnel at the moment for that style to actually do that. On Cadcar, how you doing, He comments Haaland in, now getting Bruno Hernandez. I think you mean Bruno Fernandes there. Maybe a bit of autocorrect hit you there, But loving your name. Thank you very much. I'm loving your comment there. Let's get on to Haaland then. So this video obviously is about that too. I was talking about Paul Pogba. Solskjaer said that he's going to stay. We'll see if that actually happens. If a big enough bid comes in, if the right bid comes in, United will definitely accept that in January. But if we're not going to replace him, if we're not going to go out there and spend in January and get the right player that we need, then I'd rather see him stay anyway, at least until the end of the season. Okay, so Erling Haaland then. Erling Haaland has apparently travelled over to Manchester United on a flight. Now, this is just, I've heard sheer speculation, sheer rumours. It was on Sky Sports earlier, it was on the Daily Mail, which basically you could wipe your ass with. So, but from Stavanger, I think he's flown over to Manchester. That is the rumour anyway. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that he doesn't really know about that, and it's just speculation, and people are speculating. And who knows if he'd be able to get a flight from Stavanger to Manchester? He doesn't think that's possible. I'm sure, a little charter, a little private, little jet, or whatever it may be. It's not that difficult for it to to have taken place. United are definitely interested in him. There's a lot of other clubs around the world that are interested in him too. There's so many people that seem to be queuing up for Erling Haaland's signature, rightfully so. I mean, there's a lot of people saying he may not have the abilities, but you have to remember he's 19 here. From what we've seen, he looks great. He's scoring goals. Okay, the ability thing, he's not doing it in the top leagues. You're not seeing him against the top players scoring all these goals, but he's still doing it to a good standard. He's still doing it at a young age. He still seems to have all the characteristics of a great player: technical ability, physical prowess. He's only 19, strength-wise, getting older. He will improve significantly. United will do very, very well to get that sort of a player right now because, like I say, it fits in with what we're trying to do. This whole rebuilding process, this whole situation where we are planning for the future, where it's not just a quick fix. If you're talking about Erling Haaland, £20 million has a release clause of 18 to £20 million. That's one of the best signings we could possibly make right now. Because in terms of gamble, there isn't really a gamble there. In modern football, that is peanuts to play for a footballer. And you can go out there and you could get a Mandzukic as a backup, but it's not inspiring. It doesn't do anything for us for the future. You could even bring Zlatan Ibrahimovic back in if you really wanted to, which, okay, would be amazing because he's an absolute match winner. But it would just halt the progression of the strikers we've got. It would halt the progression of the young lads that we've got on the side who are building up and getting better and need the game time. People like Greenwood, people like a Haaland if he was to come in. So I think Haaland's got the opportunity here where he can come into United, which I think this offers him something slightly different to most of the top clubs around Europe that are interested in him, because he'll be more of a backup for them. He will. Whereas at United, sure, he might be a backup, sure, he might be in rotation, but he'll definitely get more games. Simply because we will have injury problems, simply because there will be times when Martial's not at the races. There will be times when we need to bring somebody off the bench who has a different set of skills. I have a very particular set of skills. That's what Haaland has. Do you know what I mean? Over a very short career. Haaland's picked that up, and what he does is he's more physical, he's better in the air, and you can see Martial's not that player for us, Greenwood's not that player for us, Rashford's not that. They're not those aerial threat players at all. And sometimes you do need to have that option up there, and to have somebody who's more physical but also still very good technically, still a very good natural finisher, must be by all the goals he's bagging. I think it's brilliant. Plus, we've got that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer connection at Molde. We've got that Norwegian connection, as I keep talking about, and I think that is actually quite important. I know Haaland is obviously the son of Alf-Inge Haaland, Leeds, and we frick City, and we fricking hate him, and all this business. Um, and he probably doesn't really want his son to play for Manchester United. But at the end of the day, he would look at it from an objective point of view and think maybe United is the team that can offer Erling Haaland exactly what he needs right now, which is top level football, which is progressing quickly and steadily. Because, like I say, if he goes to another club around Europe, it could just simply be a case that he doesn't get that much game time. He's only 19. There's a pecking order, so that could definitely be a halter for him. Gungshi with another super chat in here. Gungers, Christmases came early. What are you doing, you lunatic? Anyway, thank you for getting in here with your say and opinions. He comments and says, "I want to see Ollie put Pogba in the front of that midfield with McTominay and Fred. Then maybe we'll finally see some consistency from him if he can stay fit." Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if we are going to keep hold of him, if this whole illness thing isn't just a ruse to cover up the fact that we're protecting our asset until January, because that's what it feels like to me. He's dancing at his brother's wedding, doing the old freaking fandango or whatever the other day, having a great old time. And then Ollie said he was too ill and too unwell to play in the Colchester game midweek. I mean, that sort of smacks as maybe we're just protecting our asset because it's really not that long to go until the January transfer window. And it would make sense to keep him fit, keep him uninjured, in order to get that sale done. So that's why I thought maybe Paul Pogba would definitely believe in January. But from what Solskjaer said, that is not the case. But we've got to take that with a pinch of salt. But like you say, Gungers, like if he is given the opportunity, if he is staying, that's where we want to see him play. There's not one player that really deserves to be ahead of Paul Pogba in that position in the team for me. I know Juan Mata had a good game the other day, but he's been a pretty hit or miss recently. I think Pogba's a big physical player. He gives us something different. I was talking to my brother yesterday actually, and he came up with an interesting point. He was like, people like Jesse Lingard, they're great for the games against cities and Liverpool's because they're pressers, but they give you no creativity whatsoever. That's where you need a Paul Pogba, and that's where Paul Pogba's not actually good, is in those big games maybe. Because he's not really doesn't like to do the dirty work. He doesn't like to do the pressing. Doesn't like to do the defending up there. We almost need a second defender up there for those games. So what is it going to be a case of? Pogba plays against all the minnows and Lingard plays against all the tops. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know if it is going to be a right fit. But what I would like to see is at least if he is going to stay, that's where he should play. The fans are calling out for it. I think Ollie will do that because I think McTominay and Fred have built up quite a good understanding over the previous few weeks. And I don't think you'd want to disrupt that anyway by putting Pogba back in there. So I think Pogba, if you're going to see Pogba in a United shirt again, it will be in that capacity, Gungshi. But just want to say once again, Gungshi, thank you so much for all your super chats and all the super chats this year. You're a bloody lunatic. Merry Christmas to you and your family, pal. Honestly. Legend. I just want to say, everybody who's tuning in right now, thank you so much for stopping by on the live stream. Do us a favour before you go and do smash a cheeky little like on it. That would be much appreciated. Do stick a thumbs up on it. That would definitely help me out. Feeling rough at the moment, feeling ill, hoping that we're going to announce something good soon, some good news in terms of Manchester United signings. I'd want to see Erling Haaland, a Manchester United player. Easy to say, we've all not seen that much of him, but just on reputation, on what he's done as a young lad, scoring goals in a decent standard European league, 19 years of age. Ole Gunnar knows him. Norwegian prodigy. It makes a heck of a lot of sense to go out there and try and sign Erling Haaland in this window. Plus, the money's absolutely spot on. It's not a lot of money. It's not a big gamble. Imagine if United went out there and we sold Pogba for 100 million, we signed Lewandowski for 150 million. There's so much pressure then on everybody involved. Whereas if we all just get behind the rebuilding process, if we all get behind the going for younger players, going for less established players who are hungrier, who have something to prove, I think you're going to see everybody pulling in the right direction for United very, very soon. I just want to say that I do hope United make a good couple of signings in January because we need them. I think we could absolutely do with a striker. We could absolutely do with a creative midfielder. Those are the first two positions we have to fill. It would be lovely to get Jadon Sancho in, but we've got Dan James, we've got Rashford. But Sancho would be obviously incredible. It's unrealistic at this moment. It'd be nice to get Maddison in. That's unrealistic at this moment, I think. So United need to focus on getting a striker. That could be Haaland, and getting a midfielder. Now, who that could be at this moment in time is another question. Christian Eriksen's a reasonable possibility, but he doesn't really fit in with that rebuilding, that youth identity, that look to the future mentality. It fits more in with the going and getting maybe a big name player in the league who's maybe had his heyday. It fits more into the Alexis Sanchez mold. And we all know how that worked out. It didn't work out very well for United at all. JP comments, there's speculation about his agent being his father. Are you talking about Erling Haaland? Yeah, I mean, I do want to see it happen. There are some stumbling blocks in this situation. The fact that world teams, everyone around the world, big name teams, the biggest teams in the world, are interested in Erling Haaland. That's a big stumbling block for United because it gives us so much competition. And right now, United are not challenging in all major tournaments like the Champions League. We're just not in there. We're not challenging for the Premier League trophy. So from that point of view, maybe we can't compete with what we can actually offer the player. But like I say, he may get more game time at United. In terms of financial, I would imagine we could pay him just as well as anybody, but you never know who's willing to pay what for a player if they need him. And if one of these big teams in world football wants to pay him a significant amount more than United, that's another potential stumbling block for how we could lose him. That's the problem. We're not the United of old. A few years ago, not a few years ago, but when Fergie was here, we had rich pickings. Now nobody needs to sell. Leicester don't need to sell Maddison to us. They're higher than us in the league. They're getting just as much money as from TV deals and stuff like that. Okay, commercially they're not putting in the money that United are, but everybody's got money now. Everybody has money in the Premier League, so nobody really needs to sell. Players like Erling Haaland, looking at United, going, they're not the force that they once were. They're not the team that they were when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was playing. So, in terms of what he wants to do, who actually knows? His dad's also, maybe Roy Keane's nemesis. So that doesn't help in terms of being a Manchester United lover. Gungshi comments looks a bit dodgy to me too, Pig. Yeah, I guess you're talking about the Pogba being ill situation. I mean, I know Solskjaer said he's not going, but if you're partying at your bro's wedding and then you're not fit enough to play in a midweek game against Colchester, maybe something's not quite right there. I do think maybe we are protecting our asset there. JP comments Grealish. Now, Jack Grealish is an excellent player, somebody I'd like to see come to United. I think he's got the right mentality. He was so good against us. He's been so good all season long, to be fair. That's a reasonable signing as well because it's very realistic. Would Grealish want to come from Aston Villa to United? You'd imagine yes, it would be the answer to that. Would he like to progress his career? Would he progress his career if he did that? Yes, he absolutely would. Is he hungry? He certainly seems to be. He's out on the pitch, absolutely taking people on and working his socks off for Villa. I'm pretty sure he'd be doing the same thing for United to prove himself as a top professional. He seems a bit of a cock, but I kind of like that in a way. I kind of like that mentality. Me and my brother were talking yesterday. We've got so many nice players at United. They're really lovely guys. We get behind the side. We get behind them. We're really invested in what we're doing at the moment at United because it seems like we've got a great core of players. Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, Daniel James, McTominay, Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, David De Gea, Lindelof even. I mean, all these people are really nice people. They're all seem like really nice guys, down-to-earth guys, which is something I absolutely love. But maybe you just need a couple of knobs in there. Do you know what I mean? People who've got a bit of a chip on their shoulder, people are a little bit arrogant. We're missing that a little bit. So I think he's that sort of player that we could go for. Lalu Pato agrees and says Grealish is a baller. Yeah, Grealish is certainly a player we'd like to see come in. Ian T comments, what happened to the £70 million from the Lukaku sale? Well, what did we do? We spent 80 million on Harry Maguire. So we recouped some of that money back, obviously. We got rid of Alexis Sanchez off of our books, still paying a reasonable amount to him for wages and things like that, though. So I'm not really too sure. I mean, the fact is, United shouldn't really have to sell in order to buy. That sickens me at the moment. I know we're in so much debt because of those shitty Glazers and how the club is run, and the debt's actually getting worse, and they're just servicing the debt, so we're not truly investing back into the squad. So that's the reason why, I guess. That's why we're not selling. That's why we're not buying without selling. You're seeing us have to get rid of players now. which is why I think Pogba will go. I think that just adds a bit more fuel to the fire because I think we do need to sign multiple players. And in order to finance that, I don't see the Glazers just going, here you go, Ollie. Here, have a couple 100 million, sunshine. Keep hold of Pogba. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to sell a couple of players in order to buy a few players. And we have to remember about Solskjaer and United. He is still dealing with the mess that was left for him. He still had the deadwood at United that he's got rid of. He's got rid of a few of the deadwood, but there's still a bunch of the deadwood around. People like Phil Jones are still here. People like Nemanja Matic are still here. So that's pure deadwood. Do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants them at the club still? No. Do you think that money could be put to better use in terms of the wages and maybe generating a little bit from a sale? Yes. So, of course, Ollie still hasn't had the amount of time. He hasn't had the necessary amount of transfer windows in order to really shape this squad. He's done a good job. I mean, he's had a great window. Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, James, great window. But he needs another window or two to really shape this side and also get rid of a couple of the shite players that we've got. There's still deadwood knocking around this United side. Hey, yo, everybody who's tuning in, we just hit half an hour. How is that even feasibly possible? I just turned the phone on a minute ago, started chatting shite, and I've just sort of entered some sort of time warp dimension or something because it said that I've been going for 30 minutes here, which is insane. But anyway, I just want to shout out to all of you. I want to say everybody who's watched the Flying Pig United channel this year and who tunes into the Pig and the Hen show on a Wednesday and all that good stuff. Thank you to each and every one of you that gets involved. You're a bunch of legends for tuning into this little hokey football channel. And I just want to wish you all guys a very happy holidays, whatever faith, whatever religion, whatever country, whatever you believe, wherever you're from. Just have a happy holiday period, a happy Christmas and happy holidays to each and every one of you. There are going to be plenty of things coming on the channel over the weekend, so keep a lookout for all of this. Tomorrow, there will be probably going to do a podcast with my brother discussing all the things to do with Manchester United, so make sure you keep that out. He's actually laid up in bed at the moment with the flu as well. I've got the flu thanks to him, so hopefully that will be the case. So it's not a promise, but hopefully that will be the case. It will just probably be a very ill podcast. So keep a lookout for that. I'll keep you up to date with any more sort of concrete happenings to do with Manchester United in the transfer window, whether we get any real serious news about Paul Pogba, whether we get any serious news about Erling Haaland coming to Manchester United from RB Salzburg. I will keep you up to date with it on the channel. So make sure you keep a lookout for all the notifications. Click that bell icon as well if you want to be notified when we post on this channel. I always forget to say that. I'm assuming a bunch of you do that anyway. But if you want to be notified when we post, just click that little bell end. Right, guys, I'm pretty much going to wrap this video up, Bill. Oh, crikey, Gungshi at the end here with another little super chat, lad. You're nutter. Thank you, Gungshi. He says, Happy Christmas to all the Bacon Brigade. What a top man. And to all a good night. No, you're a top man, Gungers. Thank you so much. Yeah, happy Christmas to all the Bacon Brigade from Gungshi, from myself, and from Henry Hotspur too. Obviously, he's not available for the show today, so I'm gutted about that one. Apologies for that. He's packing for Macau. He's going to Macau. He's partying it up this Christmas, evidently. But I'm sure he would love to wish you all a happy Christmas as well. And when I spoke to him earlier, he hinted at Monday, but I'm not promising anything because I don't want to let you down again. So hopefully we'll have something for you on Monday. But there you go. Gungshi says, I'm not touching your Belen pig. Well, it wasn't. I didn't actually mean mine. Technically, I meant the one that's next to my name on YouTube. They're my friend. But, whatever floats your boat, Gungers. Anyway, there we are. I'm going to wrap it up now, lads and lasses, but let me know your thoughts on it. If I've not responded to you in the live chat, then do get in after the stream's ended and comment in the not live comments. Get your thoughts in about Pogba. Get your thoughts in about Erling Haaland coming to United. Just get your thoughts in about anything. Tell me what you're doing this Christmas. What are you doing this Christmas? Let me know. Where are you Christmasing? Are you the type that travels for Christmas? Do you go back to your family? Do you go to Barbados and have an unconventional Christmas? Let me know. But either way, have a great one. Thanks so much. Shout out to a few peeps at the end here. Gungshi, of course. Happy Christmas, Gungshi. Thank you so much, mate. You're a top lad. Marek Stachowski, Merry Christmas to you as well. Absolute Polish legend. James Moscrop, Matty Rush, Matty the Rushmeister. Thank you so much. JP, one of the legends. And everybody else for stopping by. Gaz Newton, Fez Hun, Lalu Pato. Who else? Crazy Gamer, AK. And whoever you are, thank you for stopping by on the live stream today. Get involved by smashing a cheeky little like on it. Give it a thumbs up. You know it makes sense. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. What I provide you with on this channel is a bit of banter, bit of United news, match watch-alongs, that sort of stuff. So if you're new, if you just stumbled on it, smash that subscribe button so you can follow along the journey. I usually don't look this disgustingly horrible. Well, that's debatable, but I am ill. I usually don't look this ill, I should probably say. And usually I'm doing it on the computer, so it doesn't look so cashtastic as this. But there you go. Gunga says watch along on Sunday. You bet your sweet ass, Gunga, there's going to be a watch along on Sunday. Oh yeah, for the Watford game. So tune in for that one. And thank you for reminding me, because I said there's a whole bunch of stuff coming this weekend, and then I just didn't talk about any of it. But yeah, podcast with my bro. Of course, we've got the watch along on Sunday for the Watford game. We've got to smash them, so make sure you tune in for that. I'll be doing a live match commentary for it, so please tune in. Anyway, this is the Flying Pig on Flying Pig United. You stay classy. Thanks to all of you for stopping by. Smash a like on it, subscribe, follow me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Get your thoughts in after this video is finished with what you think's going to happen with United, Pogba, Haaland, all that good stuff. Is there anybody else you would like to see United sign in January that's realistic? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Until next time, you have yourselves a bloody good one. This is the Pig. I'll see you very, very soon. Take it easy. I was going to snort then, but it's a bad idea because there will be stuff going back into my throat, which is not, you don't want to know. It's a phlegm situation. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Come on, United.